Alright, now that I've masterfully clickbaited you into this video, I just wanted to tell you that your waifu shit and Betty White is best waifu and you can't tell me otherwise. Nah, but seriously, I'm gonna ask you a question. What is the best anime or manga that you've ever watched? Now, for most, they probably respond with something that not only reflects the amount of anime they watched, but also what their preferences are. An excellent example of this is to ask the question to the average watcher. The responses may vary, but usually the base level watcher would respond with something along the lines of Naruto, One Piece, SAO, Attack on Titan, I don't know, whatever else makes me want to learn the new song and just cease to exist. On the other hand, the seasoned veteran may give you an example of a more underground, lesser known anime or manga like Monogatari, High School DxD, or Cory in the House, obvious masterpieces of the past era. Now, the main reason why I decided to come out of hibernation was, one, that I ran out of the crack that I've stockpiled for the past 6 months, and two, I had recently watched Scamboli's video on the best manhwa, and that sparked a thought. What makes an manga and or anime the best? Now, sure, you can say that such a concept as the best, insert the thing you want to have an argument about here, is something that depends not only on the person, but also their preferences. Well, you're objectively wrong. If you think about it, there are actually criteria that make an anime or manga great. Now, just to list off some basic ones. Basic criteria can be anything from animation and storytelling to putting cliches into the story to make it popular. I mean, there's a reason the harem and isekai genre still exists somehow. But on the other hand, there are actually a few very important things that can make a story great. One, for example, would be the character, or rather how well they are written. Not only that, but the character development will sometimes make or break the story. Stories such as Psycho-Pass, Dr. Frost, Violet Evergarden, Barakamon are great examples of this. They have great plots, stories, and ways of expressing the story through animation. However, an excruciatingly large factor for these stories is their focus on character development. Frankly, it wouldn't even be a stretch to say that the only thing that kept these and many other series going is their really well executed character development. Now, sure, we need to acknowledge the many stories that can be simply great by shutting off your brain and going, main character goes brrr and everyone dies. But even without those many isekai, there are a few which incorporate great assets to their stories that make them different. In other words, said asset is world development. Now, I understand that this may not necessarily apply to all great stories, but I think it's an extremely important factor that cannot be overlooked. The world of a story is the basis of the story itself. It will determine the character's actions, their thoughts, their general concepts of life, and also their predisposition. The world of a story is simply everything around the character. Whether it be the politics, the side characters, or the beliefs of the world, a character's world will dictate how the character is developed. Now, to finally tie together this incoherent rambling of the mentally ill, emotion, in my eyes, is what ultimately, coupled together with the previous points, makes a great story. Now, by emotion, I mean a variety of things. Whether it be how a story makes you feel, or whether it sparks a new thought or inspiration, it can always almost make a truly great story. I mean, have you ever thought about why your favorite manga and or anime is your favorite? Isn't it because it has some kind of sentimental value attached to it? I mean, it could be a lesson, excitement, intrigue, awe, or even shock value that can deem a story as quote-unquote best. The idea of being able to make a person feel through the story is of the utmost importance when creating a story. As such, stories that excel in that aspect can be on another level. However, even that conclusion sparks one more final thought. What exactly is the best anime and manga? Well, speaking from logic, and so that I don't sound like a complete and utter douche, the best manga and anime is one that makes you relate, teaches you something, gives you something, or maybe even makes your time a little bit more enjoyable so that you can forget about your worldly troubles. In essence, the best story is simply what you make it to be. It could be something significant or brain-dead. What is the best for you is something that you alone dictate. And with that, I think we can all agree that the best anime and manga is High School DxD. I mean, cause have you seen those milkers? Like, goddamn!